The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Missouri Milestones, the podcast. This is season 1, episode 11. And hey, it is August. We're right around the corner. High school football, our fall practices start on Monday. Everybody make sure you're getting hydrated. Stay cool as you can throughout the day. Guy Newcomb alongside Kent Mueller. And hey, we invite you to go to our YouTube channel at Missouri Sports Network and subscribe. Go to our Facebook page and give us a like, and sign up to follow us on Twitter at Scoreboard Guy and at playing_sports. And then every time we come out with a new episode, you will be the first to know. And, you know, they've got some great episodes coming out. We've conducted several interviews this week already, and we'll be releasing them here throughout the next few weeks as we get into the high school season. But a tremendous opportunity. Got to catch up with some folks that I watched play, over the past probably 2.5 decades, 25 years since 2000. We've interviewed some young ladies this week who played in the 14, 13, 12 era that are now off to very successful careers. I'm not going to give it away. You're going to have to stay tuned and follow. But today we'll be visiting with Colt Blair, who's newly named athletic director at Bolivar High School, had an outstanding high school career and collegiate career, and has been the athletic director at Willard High School for the past few years, and just accepted the Bolivar position, which is where he graduated from. And without further ado, I'll turn it over to Mr. Kent Mueller from Playing on Sports.
Thank you, guys. We started Missouri Milestones with 1,000-point career scores list for both boys and girls. We now have over 1,500 boys and over 1,200 girls, and it won't be long before we have combined lists totaling 3,000 Missouri athletes. Those lists will continue to grow as we dig out more and more of Missouri high school history for you, and also as we record and recognize those who will cross that threshold each season going forward. And due to the strong response for the basketball career list, we have expanded to include 3 stats for football and 5 stats for volleyball, both boys and girls volleyball. For football, the thresholds are 4,000 passing yards, 2,000 rushing yards, and 2,000 receiving yards. For volleyball, the thresholds are 1,000 career kills, assists, or digs, and also 200 total blocks and 100 service aces. Some of you are wondering just where you can see these lists and how you can contribute. The easiest way to see the list as they get updated is to follow us on X. Follow Guy Newcomb at Scoreboard Guy, and follow me, Kent Mueller, at Playing_sports. By following us, you will get updated lists as they become available. And when you see those lists, 2 of the things that can happen is you might see a correction that needs to be made, or you could have athlete information we need to include. All you have to do is email that to me at playingonsports@gmail.com. That's playingonsports@gmail.com. Now that you are following us on X and you know how to contact us, let's get to the Missouri Milestones interview of the week. This week, we sat down with Colt Blair. Colt is a 2005 graduate of Bolivar High School. He is on our Missouri Milestones with his 1,250 career points. You'll hear from Colt right after this message.
Things are a little tight for Terrence right now. But they won't be for long, because Central Bank makes it easier for customers like Terrence to dream bigger.
More room would be nice.
With mortgage solutions that can open the door to more space.
That's what I'm talking about.
For his growing family.
Growing family?
Honey, guess what?
You got this, buddy.
The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to Missouri Milestones, the podcast here on the Missouri Sports Network. Guy Newcomb alongside Kent Mueller as we continue our trips around the state and interview some folks who have passed that milestone of 1,000 career points. We go to Bolivar High School and athletic administrator Colt Blair. Coach Blair, thanks so much for your time today.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on.
First off, Colt, 2005 graduate of Bolivar High School. Now, just recently, within the last few hours, have taken over officially as the athletic director there at Bolivar Schools. But let's talk about your playing career at Bolivar. Tell us a little bit about what you remember about those days as a Bolivar Liberator.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a different route in high school. Bolivar was my third high school. We moved here as a junior. My dad took over as head coach here, and then he was an assistant football coach. But, Bolivar to me is home. It's a place that not only welcomed, but I think really embraced me. Got to know a lot of great people here, and still know a lot of great people. And I think I know that's the draw for me now, wanting to be back here and be a part of this school system in this community. But we moved here in 2002, came over from Buffalo, but Bolivar had struggled a little bit the previous year or two. Really had some good talent, but just had some unfortunate things happen. Jim Grabowski, who is also another 1,000-point scorer and a really great player, he had torn his ACL. Just had some other unfortunate injuries happen. So when we moved here, my family moved here as a junior. We kind of actually got off to a rough start. We went to the Missouri State team camp, then it was SMS. And I think we lost our first 4 games. And we were like, I was 6'5", Jim was 6'7", Ty DeClue was a junior as well. He was 6, 7 or 8 at that time. And I think we were just trying to figure out how to play with each other. But after those four games, we kind of got the ship righted and won out the rest of the camp and won the camp. And then I don't think we lost again until the Blue and Gold Championship that following what would have been 2003, 2004 season. So went on a huge run there. Then lost to a good Branson team with Stephen Hill in a tough loss. I think I call myself the Buffalo Bills of the Blue and Gold. I finished second both my junior and senior year, but we had a nice run, at that time. And I'm sure all old players say this, but the COC at that time, it was crazy, especially the big men. You had Jim Samsing, who went to Bradley, Stephen, who went to Arkansas, Drew Richards, who went to Missouri State. And then there's a lot of other great players that were Division II type players as well. But we got beat by a really good Willard team my junior year. We had played them the week prior. We beat them at the buzzer, basically. Played them a week later. They beat us at the buzzer, and then they went on to win the district. So anyway, a long story to say, a lot of good players, a lot of good teammates here. Enjoyed my senior year as well. I think we went 24-3 my junior year, and then 21-5 my senior year. But just a lot of great memories, not only from basketball but football here as well.
Little known fact, I coached against you, and I believe it was your junior year in Bolivar. Okay. Coach Blair, your father was the head coach, and they were looking for a game, and I was the athletic director and coach at Humansville, Missouri.
Uh-huh.
And, it may have been the coach in front of him. It may have been Coach Banner looking for a game, and he scheduled us, and we got to the gym, and your dad, Coach Blair, came up, and he said, "Newcomb, never again will we play you guys." And we were decent for a Class I school, but it was a 30 or 40 point game. You guys were just really talented that year.
I think that if I remember right, that might have been our homecoming game. I'm not for sure. And I think we got behind to you guys like 4 or 6-0. And yeah. I think I was thinking, what are we doing here? And then we went on a run. But yeah, you guys had a nice team as well.
Yeah, we were down 4 at half and got beat by 35, I think was the final. As you talked about a lot of those guys that you got to play against. Were there, as you look at those rivalries, and that's the old COC, with the Bransons and the Ozarks and the Nixes, when everybody was together before they split. Mm-hmm. What were some of those rivalries like? And was there a rivalry? And it may have been Buffalo just because of the closeness, but they weren't really as talented ever, really, as the Liberators were. what were some of those rivalries and games that you really look forward to and maybe stand out in your memory?
I think for me, I think it was everyone, especially if you look at that, would have been 2004 season, pretty much from top to bottom. Everybody had a really good team. You look at Willard with Tyler Ryerson and Jonathan Huskisson, and you look over at Drew Richards, Tim Brown, um, Republic, Chris Imes, Dusty Hagewood. I mean, there was just a lot of good players from every team. And back then, I didn't play any AAU basketball. And I think at that time too, it was just a different mentality. Everybody just wanted to really beat each other. I don't think there was any love loss between anybody. So I would say every night, you can even go down to Reed Spring, and one of my teammates that I played with at C of O, Corey Stone, they had a really nice team that year as well. It's just everybody seemed to be really good. So as far as one specific team, I don't know that I would really pick someone out, but I think night in, night out, it was just a rivalry going into every game.
Was there a game as you look back, and I do this even at my age, and I graduated 17 years before you did. There are games in my past I sure would like to go back and play them again. A game maybe that got away from us that, man, we should have won that game. And it may be in football, it may be in basketball, baseball, but in my case, maybe all of them. But are there games that stand out? And it may have been a game where you had a great game or it was a huge win, but it may be those back-to-back second play finishes in the blue and gold. Are there games you'd like to go back and play again?
Yeah, no, I definitely that blue and gold game would definitely like to go back to. I felt, if I remember right, I think we had a lead at least by a couple of points in the fourth quarter at one point, and it for whatever reason the ball just didn't bounce our way. So we'd like to have that one back. The senior year we played Glendale in the championship, the blue and gold. I don't know that I played that great that game, but that one just kind of got away from us as well. A game that I'll never forget was a quadruple overtime game at Ozark. I think it might have been their first year in the new high school, but they had, if my memory is right, someone will probably say, well, that's not true. But if my memory is right, they had a conference home winning streak that they had. I want to say it was like 30 or 35 games. It was a long time. And we ended up winning in quadruple overtime. And that was just a lot of fun and one I won't ever forget.
And again, we're visiting with Colt Blair, the athletic director and alumnus of Bolivar High School, who finished with 1,250 points, graduated in 2005, and is currently the athletics administrator. And Colt, after high school, take us on your journey and how you arrived there at Bolivar.
Yeah, so I went from high school. I went to Southwest Baptist for 2 years. My freshman year, we won the MIAA and won the MIAA conference tournament, had a lot of fun, a lot of success, played with a lot of really great players. Sheldon Pace is one of the best players I've ever played with, and he could have played at any level. Franz Stain, he was 7'2", transferred in from Oklahoma State. I just got to play with a lot of really, really good players. Sophomore year, probably didn't. I had a stress fracture in my foot the majority of the year. Just really didn't probably play that well all year anyway. But just a tough season, and felt like maybe my level was, maybe an NAIA type level. Just kind of wanted to get back to playing that style of basketball, kind of like I played in high school. So transferred to C of O. Another big piece of that was my brother was going to go there, and me and him are I guess really tight. We do a lot of things. We'd grown up together, do a lot of things together. So that was an enticing piece for me as well. So finished up at C of O. We ended up runner-up. I guess if you talk about another game you'd like to have back, we were runner-up to the national championship that year to Oklahoma Wesleyan, who was a really nice team as well. But that season was a lot of fun. That was my senior year. Finished up there, and Coach Gio gave me a great opportunity to come back to SBU and be a grad assistant. At that point, I thought, you know what, I think I want to be a college basketball coach, and did the GA thing for 2 years. I figured out that really wasn't for me. I like this area. I like being around home. And when you're at that level and coaching college, you're gone a lot, you're on the road a lot. And that really wasn't for me. So kind of figured that out. That was a good learning time for me. And I truly think God works things out. When I finished up GAing, there happened to be a PE position that had assistant basketball and assistant football which was a perfect fit for me, and was able then to get hired here at Bolivar in 2012, and was here from 2012 to 2017. After that, I got into administration, and kind of long road short. Ended up as athletic director at Willard. Have really enjoyed that. It's a great place. But when you get a chance to come home and what Bolivar means to me, just couldn't really pass up the opportunity. So really excited to be back here.
Talk just a little bit, or maybe a lot, as much as you want.
Okay.
About your family. You've already mentioned Coach Gio gave the opportunity. There's another connection there, I believe.
Yeah, no. So, I'll start with my dad. Played for my dad in high school. Some people, I don't know if that's a great thing, but for me, I absolutely loved it. Loved playing for him. I got to play with my brother, who finished up. He played football here, and then went to C of O, played basketball with me. My sister was also part. My sister and my wife now, Crystal, who is Coach Gio's daughter, they were both on the state championship team here at Bolivar in 2007. Am I right on that, guy? Is it 2007?
2007.
I'd get in trouble if I mess that up. But they, one of the best probably girls basketball teams in Southwest Missouri, if maybe not the state that we've seen. But so just sports in general for our family, it's just what we do. I'd be remiss if I didn't throw my mom in there. She is someone who's just always kept a level head. I think kept sports in perspective, because at times it can become all consuming, but she never let it be that way. So really thankful to her for that.
Very good. Well, it's been a privilege, and I know we've visited many times with what I do with the quarterback club, the leadoff club, and the tip-off club. I send you emails. You're always very good about responding. I've heard nothing but great things since you've been here in Bolivar, even though officially it's been like just a few hours. But I know it's a work in progress. Bolivar's got a new high school football coach that stepped in as well this year, and the facilities are being upgraded constantly. So it's a lot of challenges in front of you, but I know you can handle them, and I really appreciate your time today.
I appreciate it, guy. Thanks for the kind words. And yeah, thank you so much for having me on.
Bet. Hey, you're watching Missouri Milestones, the podcast here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 5 seconds or 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. And keep it right here at the Missouri Sports Network.
Things are a little tight for Terrence right now. But they won't be for long, because Central Bank makes it easier for customers like Terrence to dream bigger.
More room would be nice.
With mortgage solutions that can open the door to more space.
That's what I'm talking about.
For his growing family.
Growing family?
Honey, guess what?
You got this, buddy.